Welcome to Chai After Dark, everyone. This is Shabnam, and I'm with my co-host Sameem. What's going on, Sameem?
Just got back from my India trip.
Nice.
Trumpet with the monkey and everything.
Very thematic. Today we're covering Outsourced, which is a 2006 movie. Am I right? And it's available on Prime for everyone to watch. So we're doing this as part of our Throwback Thursday series of movies that are desi and interesting ones that we've watched in our life. So how'd you like it? What'd you think?
I watched this movie a while back. I liked it back then. I don't even think I needed to rewatch it because I remember everything. It's a very simple movie to follow, like extremely simple. And then all the cuts that they do of the peripheral people in the neighborhood and India. Me and you, we've already experienced stuff like that. Pakistan is quite similar. It's a super simple movie to follow. I like it. It's very endearing. And then, I don't know, it kind of makes you think about your childhood as well, even though we didn't grow up in India.
Yeah, and some of the cultural themes we've been talking about and stuff too, but it's also relevant to today because this is literally the beginning of the outsourcing that we're dealing with today of hey, we should bring manufacturing back. We should bring jobs back to America. This is the beginning of people becoming aware that they're leaving. It's interesting.
But this movie was made so outsourcing had already started. This was in 2006.
Yeah.
Tech community was already being built up. People were being controlled by their stock options. How many times does Dave say stock options, by the way, in this movie? 130 times. So
golden handcuffs.
Golden handcuffs, exactly. And which is hilarious because 2006, Google went IPO in 2004.
Yeah.
So I don't know who was being held by golden handcuffs back then, but this guy Todd got taken for a ride all the way to India.
Yeah, totally. So should we get into it?
Yeah, let's just get into it since we can. Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm in a better mood than Tuesday, by the way. Today's Thursday.
Nice. Okay. All right. So we open with the classic early 2000 office cubicles. And Todd's boss calls him into his office. Todd's boss is Dave. And he says the company is restructuring the department and they're outsourcing all jobs that can be done on the phone or online. And so Todd is you can't outsource order fulfillment because people who want to buy a bald eagle with an American flag painted on it want to do it from an American person in America. And he's like, what are we going to do about these accents? And then his boss says, that's where you come in. You need to do accent training. And, Todd kind of gets stuck because like you said, we're in this golden handcuffs period where his boss is basically look, you're going to lose all your stock options because we're going to fire you if you don't end up going. And so he basically has to go to India to train his replacement who's going to do his job for $11,000 a year.
It's so ridiculous. The movie just starts with Todd being threatened. He's I'm going to ruin your fucking life. This guy, Dave, he's insignificant in this movie, right? Who gives a shit about Dave? He pisses me off so much. Once you get through all the notes, at the end of my notes, it literally, I wrote, this guy's been pissing me off the entire movie. He just fucking shows up to yell at Todd. For those of you who don't know, I left my corporate job back in January to do this. Fucking total mistake. But I left because of people like Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave is his entire character in the movie is to threaten Todd into doing things he doesn't want to do at his job. And wasn't supposed to be part of his role.
This is heavy ass shit, right? We're talking about outsourcing. Yes, America first. Let's bring back all the manufacturing jobs. It's never going to happen. And
all the call center jobs.
All the call centers. Yeah, right. It's going to be all AI chatbots, right? That's what it is now.
Right.
I don't know, dude. I don't know why I'm going off on corporations and Dave already, but maybe we should keep going.
Yeah, let's get into it more. There'll be plenty more opportunity. Yeah. So Todd lands in India and he's looking on all the boards to see his name. He can't find the guy carrying his sign because the guy wrote Mr. Toad. And this is the part where I'm this is unrealistic. They know how to write letters. They might call him Mr. Toad, but they wouldn't write.
They know English,
Mr.
dude. Everybody
Toad.
in India knows English. Even the workers know English, as this movie shows you, right? So yeah, it says Mr. Toad on it, but trying to find a cab after he gets out of the airport. That's exactly what it seemed like when I was in Karachi or Lahore when I was a kid. These guys surround you. And it's not just Pakistan. They do that in Mexico as well.
Yeah, they do. And so eventually he ends up in a rickshaw because he's trying to get away from all these taxi drivers who are hounding him for business, like you said. So he drives through India to the train station, and they play this like banger from Bombay Rock, where it's called Ari, Ari. And it's like, yeah.
Okay, I can't believe you put this note in, and I actually wrote what a banger, and I knew you were going to write what a banger when I saw these notes. But so this week, today actually, July 24th, I'm going tonight to a band called Bloodywood, who I think I've showed you before, a heavy metal Indian rock band.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah.
And their first single is an Ari Ari cover. I'm going to drop it right here to remind myself.
Okay, nice.
15 seconds only because I don't want to get this pulled off Apple and Spotify.
Yeah, just do like 12 to be safe.
I'm going to try to get them to come onto our podcast. They're on tour right now, so maybe
that's
in a couple
awesome.
Weeks. Yeah. So
Hell
Sophie and I are going to go tonight. And then they also did Mundia Ke Bachche Hey. You know that? I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah, Mundia To Bachke. Yeah.
Yeah, so they did Punjabi MC. They have their own songs as well, but they've done like a lot of covers.
Yeah. Nice. That's super cool. So at the train station, an Indian guy tells him, like, hey, dude, if you want to catch a train, you better jump on. This train's not going to freaking stop for you ever. So he's like, okay, what the hell? But he does it because the guy kind of shows him. He's like, toss your luggage on and then you jump on. And so he gets in there, and then this little kid gets up to, because we have these like customs, like got to get it for your elders. So the little kid, he's not even that little. He's like 12.
He's like 12.
He gets up. So yeah, Todd can sit down in the seat, and Todd sits down, and then he sits in Todd's lap.
Okay, let's pause. What do you think?
What's up?
What did we talk about on Tuesday? About, I don't know, dude, sitting in laps and shit. Yeah.
Desi spoiled boys.
It's so concerning. And the fact that this little boy was so not hesitant to sit in a white man's lap. And hey, in today's world, in the United States, I don't think anybody below the age of 18 should be around any white men with power. I'm not trying to be like ridiculous. It's just in the news. So let's protect our kids. And this kid didn't know.
We should not be sitting in the laps. Children should not be sitting in the laps of rich men, especially
today.
The ones in power.
Or especially, I guess, in the late 90s and early 2000s. This is so stupid.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
What are we talking about? We're acting like everything is fine and dandy and normal.
But hey, from this kid's perspective, he was like, hey, an uncle, I'll just sit in his lap. But actually, also, that's unrealistic, because if it was a random white man, then he wouldn't sit in his lap. Maybe if it was like a Desi man, he might have done it. Or especially a Desi man he knew.
The only white man that would allow a Desi boy to sit in his lap on a train would be a white man with nefarious intentions. I don't know, actually. Now, I don't want to get another email saying we talk too much shit about white people, because I feel like we talk a lot of shit about Desi people as well.
We do. We talk a lot of shit about everybody, but in case it's unclear to the listener, we're specifically talking about what's going on in the news today. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about... It's not a generalization. All right. So back to it. So he comes to his destination station, and he gets picked up by Prohit. And Prohit's like, what are you doing in India? And he's like, I have to train some schmuck to sell kitsch to rednecks. And Prohit's like, what do all those words mean? And to be honest, I didn't really know what kitsch meant either. But he says kitsch is garbage people buy, and redneck is a farmer. And then he looks at Prohit's business card, and he realizes Prohit is the person he's supposed to train. So he goes, and a schmuck is means a really nice guy. and so then Prohit tells him, like, you should go to Auntie G's house instead of the hotel, because you'll be really lonely. Which, again, this is a Desi thing. People in the West don't get lonely. They like being alone.
I used to travel a lot for work, and I would appreciate it if somebody was like, come to our house for a home cooked meal instead of going to a stale corporate hotel. And even if you think about it in the United States, like, I was in Indianapolis last month, right? Like about a month ago for the finals, for the NBA finals. I wish somebody had come up to me outside the Indy airport and was like, hey, you got to come to Mama Jean's house. Like, and she's going to make you some old school. I don't actually know what the fuck they eat in Indianapolis. I feel like the food wouldn't be all that great, but I would have appreciated it instead of staying at a stale ass Hyatt Regency.
Okay.
What do you think? You wouldn't go?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fan of strangers, but
I know I would go to the hotel to sleep, but I would go there for dinner. I don't stay in people's houses. I already talked about this on Tuesday, dude. No one's staying here, and I ain't staying anywhere.
All right. So Pro tells Todd, "You'll not be lonely there. You're a schmuck," because he thinks schmucks means a nice guy now. I was like,
how many times do you think this accent from you is going to come up? Because it was gone for a few months, and then you brought it back. This movie, it's all accents.
Yeah, this movie's about accent training.
It's about accent training.
Yeah. Okay, so what is this billboard thing that's in your notes?
No, I wanted to stop right there really quick just because I don't know, maybe they lost the point of the movie, but they do talk about investing in India, and we've talked about how India went from like a rural society, and then obviously the British came and consumerism started building in India probably the same time as it did in the United States. There's like a faraway billboard when Todd is going to Auntie G's house, and it says invest in India's economy, we're up and coming, and that's all it says. And then he stares at it for a second. So I just picked it up really quick, and obviously they're talking about call centers moving to India and building up India's economy. But when I was first out of college, this is like mid-2000s, I worked for the Scottish government in terms of trade and investment. I only had that job for like a year before I got fired. But I would I would call people in the United States and be like, hey, we'll pay your capital expenditures and give you some tax grants, and we'll find people for you to hire. So the only people that I actually worked with on a day-to-day basis was Rockstar Games and Disney Studios, and they actually opened an office in Dundee, Scotland, and that's where Rockstar Games made Grand Theft Auto. So I was involved with that. I didn't do shit.
That's pretty cool.
Make a couple phone calls, yeah.
That's pretty cool. But are you saying Dundee, Scotland? Is that where Crocodile Dundee comes from?
No, Crocodile Dundee comes from Australia. Good guess, though, I guess. I don't know. Same name.
Interesting.
Dundee is like Scotland's fourth biggest city, but it is like a video game sort of mecca. And it started in the mid-2000s. And then University of St. Andrews had the first 4-year video game program. I worked in video games for a long time, in case anyone's wondering why I know all this. But what I was going to say was, every country has these people like that invest in India people in different countries. So for Scotland, we had like 15 people in the United States. We had 5 people in Canada. We had a few people in like Paris. And then
those people would invest in India?
No, we would like call people like to invest in Scotland companies. So I'm assuming that's the same sort of program that India thing was that we're talking about.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. So, this is not an economic development class. I'm sorry, everyone.
I mean, that's kind of what this movie's about. And we're arguing about economics and politics constantly today. That also is what this movie's about. So, you know.
Yeah. And then really quick, sorry, just so that's a great point. I don't think people understand how much international trade there actually is in this world and how dependent we are on each other to make the world grow. It didn't come just from the United States in the 50s from kitsch and this garbage that people were selling.
Yeah.
It came from a lot of cross-trade organizations, not just in technology, but also food, goods, financial services. All of these services are dependent on the world economy, just in case any of you people are very America first, as I am. But I think my America first is a lot different than the America first that these people are talking about. So just remember that we're all connected.
Yeah, it's funny because America first sounds a lot like socialism if you actually listen to it. So I'm confused. I feel like the right has gone so right and the left has gone so left. We've looped back around.
The left is now the new right, and the right is now left. The right is like, hey, release the Epstein files, and the left is like, hey, maybe some left people are on there. Let's not release them. So I don't even know. I don't give a fuck about the Epstein files. We already know what's in there. It's pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah. All right. So back to Auntie G. So they go to Auntie G's house and she starts to ask a bunch of questions. What does your father do? Oh, these are, what did you write this? What does your father do? Oh no, did I write this?
No,
okay,
I wrote that.
Says,
she literally asked these questions. These are verbatim. So I wrote them down.
Yeah. He said he wasn't ready for a family. Auntie G says he's old enough to be a grandfather.
He's like 30.
God, that's hilarious. Yeah, he's like 30.
And it's true, right? Like,
yeah.
Can you imagine being a 30-year-old? I don't know. I guess we did imagine it because we did Indian matchmaking about a year ago. Everybody go check out those episodes. But there's literally 30-year-old men living with their families, and they're sitting in their mom's lap and they can't get married until the mom actually finds them a woman. So Auntie G was coming correct for India.
Yeah. She's like, cut the cord, buddy. But so they serve him food and he starts eating with his left hand because he's, I guess, a lefty. And then everybody's staring at him and he's told, hey, you should eat with your right hand, not your left hand, because your left hand's unclean. He's like, why? And then they're both like all hesitant and stuff. And then the uncle who's sitting in the background, I think that uncle's kind of like their worker, right? And he ends up like playing charades with them. And he basically pretend wipes his ass with his left hand. And Todd is like, okay.
Okay, well, let's talk about this for a second. I don't know how deep we want to get into cleaning shit off your butthole, but, you know, bidets exist for a reason. And here in this country, they give you a stale piece of toilet paper, and they're like, this is all you get.
Yeah, so another point of contention in today's politics, people, South Asians, and actually a lot of people in the world, we eat with our hands sometimes. And then we wash our butts with water. We wash our butts, okay? And then we wipe our butts with a towel, with a like something, with our hand, with our left hand, and then we wash both our hands. But that's why people have this thing like, oh, you should eat with your right hand and wipe with your left hand. But I mean, obviously you're washing everything, but that's where it comes from.
Yeah, no one's wiping their butt and then going straight to the kitchen table. You know who's doing that are the guys that I see out at the bars in San Diego who go into the stall. They're there for 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They go right back out into the dance floor or the bar or the restaurant. And you know,
and they eat their fries. And
yeah, only in this fucking country I've seen that. So forgive me for using my left hand to clean myself. And you know what? Let's take it a step further. If you have a dog or a cat or a baby and you get like a minuscule amount of shit or pee on your arm or your shoulder or your face or whatever, I don't know how close you're getting to someone's butthole, you're just going to wipe it off with toilet paper? If you had shit right here on your cheek from your baby, you're going to wipe it off with toilet paper? And then you're going to go about your day? No, you're going to fucking put soap on it and you're going to make sure it's gone. But if it comes out of your ass and there's a lot of it, you just pile it up. And you don't use water? Sorry, I don't think we should talk about this anymore, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's 2025.
It's 2025. We have irrigation. We have plumbing. We have it all.
Us poor people, third world, discovered washing our asses literally 1,500 years ago. And these...
More than that, probably
more than that. And these cavemen in this country are still using toilet paper, which is fucking up the world environmentally.
Yeah.
Just that. Yeah. Dude, okay. I was watching Outsourced, right? On Tubi, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it on Amazon Prime. I should have, because now I had to sit through commercials. So I watched it on Tubi, and I did have to go use the restroom while I was watching it. So I paused the movie, Shabnam, and the first thing that popped up was the Cottonelle toilet paper ad, and it literally said, ready for a bathroom break, and it had a QR code. What are we fucking commoditizing and making corporate culture into toilet paper and a QR code? What are we fucking insane?
What were they gonna do? You could go purchase toilet paper at the QR
while
code?
You shit. Like it's gonna end up at my house by the time I'm done with my shit. I don't even understand. I didn't do the QR code, obviously. That was, but I know what the QR code is. Like that's the industry I worked in. Programmatic advertising. Anyways, I didn't do it, but they wanted me to. They knew I was going to take a shit. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. They knew you would have to take a shit at some point. Well, probably because of what's coming next in this movie, but we'll get there in a few minutes.
This movie's awesome.
So, Yeah. So after his meal, he looks over the property wall and he sees a bunch of poor people showering in wells and doing laundry outside their apartment. So this is like kind of classic South Asia thing, and probably a lot of third world countries. Like you'll have a very nice house that's like a bungalow, like a big property, maybe multi-family sort of thing. And then right next to it, you'll have projects, basically. And so that was interesting to see. So Todd goes to the office the next day with Prohit, and Prohit shows him around. And there's apparently a cow in the building. And Todd's like, what is that? And Prohit doesn't even notice at first. He's like, oh, this clock. This clock is basically timing our MPI, which is how long it takes for them to respond to an incident from the call center. And then he sees Todd's worried about the cow. So he's like, oh, this cow? Oh, okay. And he starts yelling at all the things. He's like, ye kiska gaya. And he's like trying to get them to like move the cow out. It's funny.
I have a cow story from Pakistan. I was like 12 or 16 or 17. I don't
me
actually
too.
know how old I was. I saw your
You
note
do yours
too.
first.
Who goes first?
You,
I wonder if
you
it's
go
the
first.
same story.
I don't think so.
So in India, cows are sacred. In Pakistan, we eat those fucking cows, right? So during the second Eid, we sacrifice either a cow or a goat or a
to
lamb.
clarify,
Can you?
to clarify, so like in Hinduism, cows are sacred.
Yes.
In Islam, they're not. They're just food. And for Sikhs also, it's just food, I think.
Yeah, I think 20% of India actually eats cows because 10% or so, 15% are Muslim, and then other ethnicities and religions. So we're sacrificing this cow right in front of our house in this city called Faisalabad. It's not Lahore or Karachi, so it's like a more like ghetto city, I guess. The cow's like just in front of the house, right? Like you don't fucking go to a cow slaughtering place. You do it in your driveway or the street.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Animals are smart and they're intuitive, and they know that their buddies and their brothers and sisters and mom and dads have been sacrificed, right? They know that's what they're there for. It's called evolutionary slaughter biology.
Yeah.
So this dude comes to slaughter the cow, but you don't let the cow see the knife, right? He goes in front of the cow. The cow gets a glimpse of the knife. The cow freaks out. And it just goes on its hind legs. It didn't go on its hind legs. I don't think a cow can do that. But it just ran away, and it broke the rope from the tree. It fucking went into the traffic.
Oh my God.
Just like there was a fucking cow in the call center. And then I didn't do it, obviously. But then literally all these men start running after a cow. And if there was phones back then, it would have shown you a scene of like 100 cars, stop signs, a bunch of like street vendors, kids running around, little motorcycles, and then a fucking cow right in the middle of it, and a bunch of men trying to get it. So it was amazing. I'll never forget it. And you know what? We got that fucking cow and we ate it.
Oh, nice. Interesting. So I have a similar story. We did that too. We have a kind of like a property like on DG, right? But it was nicer inside, thankfully. And that was my grandparents' house. And in the driveway, we did the same thing. You know, in South Asia, or if you're not Hindu, it's like real men are butchers, you know? That's how real men can butcher their own food, right? That's like, so they did it. The cow was obviously in the driveway for like a couple of days before because they had to buy it, right? And it was pooping big turds.
Big turds.
And so one of my cousins, she stepped in it and she was like 3 and she started freaking out. So that was the first issue. Then they finally like slaughtered the cow. And then one of my other boy cousins, he was like really interested in the eyes. So he took the eyes and like put them in the freezer because he wanted to keep them.
Like,
yeah, it was really weird.
Like how?
I don't know. He just like it was like
Scooped
biology. It was like I don't know. A lot of my cousins became doctors, so maybe it was like a precursor to his med school or something. I don't know. And then then we made biryani with the rest of it, and it was delightful.
Let's keep going with this. Actually,
yeah.
Do you know what pants are in Pakistan? Remember pants? It's bison. Those black cows that are everywhere. Like
isn't
everywhere.
that pants?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's not. There's no N in it.
Oh.
I mean, maybe because it's a really, really soft N. You're making the N too hard.
Hey, Haldi Huma, can you email us chaiafterdark@chaiafterdark.com? Is it Bants?
Or it's Bess.
That's not a real word. Is that a real word?
I think that's a real word.
Okay, anyways, there's these black cows everywhere, and they're bison, I think. I don't think they're cows, but they're so skinny. And the ones that are like outside the cities and the village, it's like rabid cows.
Yeah.
Like here we have rabid horses.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I shouldn't say rabid.
Wild. Like wild. Yeah.
Horses. Okay, should we keep going, dude? What are we doing?
Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so
it's
so
me,
then.
Not you.
Anyways, so just then the Gola icy that Todd had at the train station when he was waiting for Pro to pick him up, which is like just basically like an icy off the street cart, it starts to hit him because it's obviously made with unfiltered water from not good water places in India. Because a lot of the like rich people and tourists and stuff that come to South Asia, they at least boil their water, if not drink bottled water the whole time. So he basically, that starts kicking in and he starts to feel diarrhea. So he like leaves the office quickly because he's trying to go back to Aunt Gigi's to take a big shit. And then he gets harassed by this kid for money on the street. And he's like, okay, fine, take a few rupees. And then the kid comes close to him and the kid pickpockets him. And he's trying to run after the kid, but he can't because he has to go literally and figuratively. And then he ends up back at Aunt Gigi's, but the bathroom's being repaired and like the toilet's like all taken apart. So they're like, you can go downstairs. So he goes to the downstairs bathroom and it's a floor toilet. It's like a porcelain toilet in the ground with a space for you to put your feet that's got a little traction so you don't slip. And then you squat and you take a shit. And he looks at that and he feels really desperate because he really has to go, and he looks at his left hand and then the end scene ends.
Scene out. Yeah. He did it, right? He had to. No choice. We had to do it. We had to go in a hole.
Yeah.
It's actually better for your prostate.
Yeah, because it also helps it all come out.
Yeah,
apparently.
I mean, everybody now that's listening, go into the Asian squat and see how long you can hold it.
Well, now you have to buy a separate thing called Squatty Potty that everybody gets.
You don't need
when
that.
It's like...
You can just squat over the toilet. Put your feet on the actual toilet, and then you can recreate a hole.
So I have this story, like one of my relatives in Pakistan was like remodeling their house, and they had a maid come regularly, and the maid had their own bathroom. So when they were redoing the house, they had like toilets in most of the bathrooms, but in the maid's bathroom, it was still like a ground toilet, right? So they asked the person like, hey, do you want us to put a toilet in there for you? And she goes, sir, I don't know what I'm going to do sitting on a chair. That's what she said.
Nobody wants that.
Like,
honestly, like I have the same story in Lahore when I was at my grandfather's house. The newer bathrooms had toilets that stuck up, right? But they were like the $40 toilets that you put into some shit project in the United States. I'd rather just go in the hole, right? Like, go in the hole, grab your little water lota thing, and wash your fucking butt like a real man.
I didn't know this movie was
about.
Going to turn into this.
Well, I mean, half the movie is him staring at his left hand and wondering what he should do with it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, so before you start describing the scene where he's teaching them the American accents or whatever, he says, you people need to learn, by the way. He didn't say like, hey, I'm going to teach you. He's like, you people need to learn America. He literally says that. That's why I wrote it.
I'm here to globalize and colonize. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking colonizer, Todd.
Oh, man. Poor guy. He didn't even want to be there. It's all Dave's fault, but whatever. So the next day, he meets the team for their accent training, and he's reminded by Asha, the main character, with a woman who's like a main character in this movie, that, hey, buddy, Indians learned English from the British just like Americans did. And then she says, and we have better pronunciation than you. Like we say internet and you say internet. And then he calls on a guy named Manmeet, but he goes, okay, man meat. And he calls him man meat the entire movie.
The entire movie, yeah.
And he explains what small talk is to man meat. And then he tells them how to pronounce Chicago. He says, you got to say Chicago. And if they ask you what the weather's like, say windy.
This doesn't make any sense, by the way, because 100% these people have relatives in Chicago. Like they know somebody that's in Chicago.
That's true. Chicago's like one of the places where there's a high population of South Asians.
Shout out Devon Street.
Oh, dude, have you eaten on Devon Street?
I was just in Chicago last month, but Sophie and I didn't make it to Devon, but I've been there several times. Yeah.
Okay, so for the listeners who don't know, I think it's actually, the street is actually called Devon, but it's
Yeah.
like a little South Asia. And so they call it Devon. There's a place called Sabri Nihari there. People order a dish called Nihari, which is like, what is Nihari? It's like chuck meat that they like stew for a really long time. Yeah.
It like falls apart.
Yeah, and people order it from there and like get it frozen and shipped to New York. Like one of my uncles has done that before because it's so good. But I had a faluda, which is, I don't know, what's a faluda? Like a milkshake sundae kind of a thing. That desi faluda. I had that on Devon Street, which was awesome. Shout out Devon Street, like you said.
Also, Devon and Artesia in LA. Remember I called you last week when I was in LA?
Yeah.
It's dead. And I talked to somebody. It's dead because they're raiding Artesia. So I don't know about Devon Street, but Sophie and I went to Artesia last week, which is another South Asian community. It's kind of like North Orange County, South LA area.
Yeah.
Completely dead. Like at 4 p.m. on a Thursday, there was nobody in the stores, a couple people in the restaurants, and there were white people because of ICE raids. So
That's insane.
I don't know how much I want to put out there, but I'm pretty sure there's all kinds of illegal Indians and they're coming from Canada. Like, it's obvious. What do you want me to say?
No, I don't
ICE
think
doesn't know that already.
Do you think there's
I support them, not ICE.
Do you
Sorry.
think
Yeah.
South Asia's a long way to come without papers? So I'm thinking
Canada.
it's also other it's Canada. Okay, I guess.
The
yeah.
Indians are coming from
Or
Canada.
people
India
over-
is the third largest or second largest illegal population in the United States. First is obviously Mexico.
Undocumented.
Undocumented, sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Okay. You said illegal.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that.
Why don't you just call them aliens while you're at it?
Get out of my country. It's rednecks only. Eagle. By the way, we haven't even touched on the kitsch like we brought up in the beginning. It's literally MAGA shit. I wonder if Donald Trump got the idea for all his shit from this movie.
I don't know. So then Todd calls on Asha and she says, like, hey, look, I don't want to be dishonest. I'm not from Chicago. I'm from Karapuri. And he says, rednecks don't want to buy American kitsch from people in Karapuri. And then she's like, but they buy products from China. It says made in China on the box. That's when you're like, burn. That's actually true. It's not even made in America. It's made in China. So
it's quite the foreshadowing, by the way. Like we just said, the MAGA
exactly.
thing. All his shit is made in China. So this movie was wrong. People in America do want to buy cheap shit from China because we've been doing it since the late 70s, I guess. Also, iPhones are built in China and everybody has one. There's no phones built in the United States, and literally like everything is from. Actually, I think they want to move iPhone production to India now, right?
I don't know, but Dave
that,
Chappelle had this one joke where he was like, "You want Americans to make iPhones? So what? So they can be $9,000?" That's what he says.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
people would buy it? They'll buy it if they had to.
On credit, and then we'd be in more debt. Like, I don't know. It's insane. Okay, so back at Auntie G's, she asks him if he wants to meet a nice Indian girl. He says no. So she says, "Are you homosexual?" And then he's like, "What?" He's like, "Why would you think I'm homosexual?" Because she's like, "If you don't want a nice Indian girl, you must be gay." And so she tries to get him to eat, and he says, "Maybe tomorrow." And she's like, "Huh? Tomorrow?"
This Indian auntie,
so funny.
he like destroyed her entire world. Two things aunties want to do, right? They want you to get laid, and they want you to eat their food. And he's like, I don't need no sex. I don't need no food. I'm gone.
Yeah. So he goes out into the garden and he sees workers being fed by the maid passing trays over the wall. So the maid basically gives like the leftover food to the poor people in the projects next door by like basically putting it on top of the fence, and then they grab the tray. And so the next morning for breakfast, Todd eats some of his food and then he puts his leftovers on the tray at the top of the wall, and the people take it because he's eating 1/4 of what Auntie G is trying to like make him eat.
But every third world country I've been to, something like this exists where you don't finish the food.
Yeah.
You know somebody will finish it. Even here, we were in Carlsbad, like a very like, I don't know, upscale beach city. And this dude didn't want my burger after I walked out of this restaurant and it was half eaten. And I don't know. I'm not saying he had to eat it, but it seemed like he needed it.
No, I know. In college, me and my friend ate at Mel's Diner, and then we walked out with to-go boxes. And actually, only my friend did. And so my friend was like trying to give it to a guy on the street, and he was like, "What is it?" And she was like, "Strawberry shortcake." And he's like, "Oh, I don't want it." We were like, okay.
Yeah. One time I tried to give a burrito to someone, like an actual burrito that I bought, like a bean burrito from Taco Bell. And the guy was like, "Is it beans?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I can't eat that." I was like, "My bad." But like, if you watch the movie and then the way that they kind of slow down the movie, they show the unfortunate people that are living in slums. That's a very connected scene to us. I've seen those kind of situations in Pakistan over and over and over. Builds a lot of empathy within you. You don't see stuff like that here. Here, it's like, oh, he must be on drugs. They must be schizophrenic. They must be this.
They got
to
to pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Bootstraps, yeah. Like not every penny is going to their rent and food. You know, I don't know how you're supposed to build wealth when you can't even like buy food the next day in this country. But that's how these people live. And when we talked about the Ambani wedding last year, Ambani's Antilla Tower is built in Mumbai slums. It's just unreal.
Yeah. Well, then Todd tells Prohit that the MPI, minutes per incident, needs to go down from 12 to 6 minutes per incident, or Prohit will never be able to marry his girlfriend, and Todd will be stuck in India forever because they're not meeting their KPIs.
And then he just yells. He's like, "Everybody faster!" That's like his just randomly. He's just
solution.
like, "Oh yeah, let's just yell."
Yeah. Yeah. So at Todd's next all hands, he tries to explain branding cows to a room full of Indians who are most of them Hindu, and they're appalled. And Asha tells him he should learn a little bit about India, because the one guy's like, "Won't the cow run away?" And then he's like, "Well, we do it when they're babies." And then they're all like, "Dude, you guys are savage."
It sounds crazy, right? Like, do they do that? Insane. They do, right? They brand every cow, like Harris Ranch off 5 when you drive San Francisco to LA. All those cows are branded.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. So in the next all hands, they play a call where a woman from the Midwest is asking what to get her son going to school. And the Indian guy says, "A rubber." She's like, "What?" And then the Indian guy's like, "Well, if he has pencils and pens, then you should just get him a rubber." And the lady's like, "What the hell?" And Todd asks, "So guys, what's wrong with this call?" And they don't know. And then he tries to explain to them a rubber is for contraception. So you see Manmeet taking the like cardboard off the end of his eraser, and he's like, "It works." It's hilarious.
This movie's like surprisingly sexual. Like,
yeah, it's surprisingly hilarious.
What's your condom story?
So I heard the story secondhand, but there was a person who was an immigrant from a third world country, not in South Asia, and they were trying to plan a weekend in Lake Tahoe. And so they were trying to rent a condo for everyone to stay in. But she was from another country, so she thought the short form of condominium was condom. So She was like, "Oh, this condom is really big. We can all have a wonderful time this weekend." Like on an email chain with a bunch of people. It was hilarious.
Sophie and I were watching The Office like years ago. Like she was like 8 or 9, and Ryan has that company called Woof, where like a fax, email, a text, it all goes at the same time, so you never miss a message. And then he's trying to talk about how he's going to expand Woof with targeted branding and marketing. So he's like, "I'm going to go to spring break destinations, and I'm going to have condom wrappers that say Woof on them, and I'm going to throw them to spring breakers." And Sophie like looks at me and she's like, "What's a condiff?" And I was like, "Nothing."
Oh my God.
Condiff. It's a city in San Diego.
That's hilarious. So Todd's ex basically doesn't care about him. He goes to this phone booth place, kind of like in Chippendales in the 80s or 70s or whatever, when the main character, Kumail Nanjiani's character, was trying to call his wife. So Todd goes to one of those types of things. It looks the same, by the way.
It looks like exactly the same. I wonder if
same
this
set.
movie, they used the same Indian set.
Yeah. So his girl doesn't care about him and she's moved on. So he bumps into this taxi guy. He sees an ad for McDonald's, MAC, and he basically asks this taxi guy to take him to the McDonald's, which is kind of far away. So the guy's like at first resisting the idea. But the taxi guy has the most terrible Desi accent ever. It's horrible. I feel like that guy's probably like, I don't know, Latino or something. It was like the most worst terrible accent ever.
He looks like he was the lead guy in Breath of Fire from HBO that we covered last year.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's doing
right.
It sounds like he's doing a fake accent, but I feel like I know that guy from other stuff, but I watched Outsourced probably in 2006. So I probably know him from this same movie. And I feel like I know him from other stuff, but you're right. It's such a fake accent, but he looks so Indian.
Yeah, he does. I know. It's crazy. So Todd ends up going to McDonald's in the taxi, driven by the guy with the bad accent. And he meets an older white man who basically tells him,
he's like, I'll give you some advice. Just let India come to you. And then he's like, there's a actual hamburger joint called McDonald's in the town you just came from, but you can't get a cheeseburger there either. And then Todd is like talking about how he doesn't like it here. So this is a white guy that's only in this scene. He's just hanging out at McDonald's apparently.
Yeah.
And then he says, you know what India stands for? India, I'll never do it again, which I've actually never heard of. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would resist going to India. I don't think it's, other than getting diarrhea, what could happen?
Well, you just got to be careful. You
got to be careful like any other major city. And of course, if you're a solo woman traveler, please be extra careful.
Yeah.
And then he tells the story about, we've heard this story many times where he's like an American coder. This is an 2006, by the way. He's telecommuting. They don't call it remote back then. So he hires an Indian engineer for like $12,000 a year, but the American company's paying him $70,000 a year. So he doesn't do anything in America. And I've heard of these stories before, but I've always heard these stories because the guy gets caught and he gets fired.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's wild. So they enjoy their burger and that's that. Then the next day, Tom wakes up at Auntie G's house and he doesn't see a note that she left on his door for him that says, don't go out today. And he's wearing this nice, crisp white dress shirt and he goes out into the street and it's Holi. And so he sees some guys like that are all like got color on them. He's like, whatever, some weird India shit he doesn't understand. And then Prohit finds him and tells him about Holi and he's like, celebration of color, changing of the seasons. And then he's like, you gotta like go back home. You can't wear nice clothes today. And then of course they get cornered and Todd gets color thrown on him. But this is where he takes the older white guy's advice and kind of just like leans into it. And he ends up having like a really good time playing Holi, basically throwing all this like colored powder on other people.
We've done Holi.
Yeah. Like 10 years ago, shout out Sunnyvale. That was fun.
Stanford.
Was it Stanford?
I think it was Stanford Holi Center or Stanford Holi thing. I brought Sophie. I remember she was like 5 years old and we were all throwing Holi on people. I remember some of the guys got a little touchy-feely. And I remember getting mad at like somebody. I don't remember what the story was, but you're supposed to throw it. You're not supposed to rub it on people's faces.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And I was like, why are you're getting a little too close.
Especially people you're not like, you don't know that well. It's like kind of crazy, right? But anyways, so yeah, it was fun. So Asha is covering for them when they reach the office because they have to like clean up after Holi and they're late. And so she's like covering for them. And you can tell that Todd is like really happy about this. He has a total attitude change with her. And he comes in shalwar kameez to work because he had to change out of his dress shirt. And he asks the team, he's like, what would make this experience better for you? They're like, can we bring pictures? Can we wear Desi clothes to work? And they want free and discounted products like this kitsch, in particular the astrology mats, right, which we know from Indian matchmaking, astronomy is very key. And so they like ask for the stuff and he's like, you guys want this shit? He's like, what the hell? And then he basically tells them, okay, whoever improves their MPI the most on any given day will get to pick whichever merchandise they want.
Consumerism, they love it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, they love it. They all bob their head side to side and they're on board. And so Prohit and Todd talk about the culture and family over drinks. And Prohit says he doesn't understand American culture. He's like, you don't visit your parents, you hate your boss, and you don't want to change your job. And so then Todd is basically like, in my world, it makes sense to work your ass off and go into credit card debt just to get the newest TV. I was like, damn, that's kind of...
This is 2 years
bleak,
before.
But true.
Yeah, this is 2 years before the 2008 crisis, right? So
yeah,
like, this is very foreshadowing. People literally went into debt for this TVs, and back then TVs were like $3,500, $4,000 for a big ass plasma TV. So we could go on for like an hour if we actually talked about what he's talking about. But even in European culture, I used to work for a German company for many years, and I worked in the United States for this German company. But I would go to Berlin a lot, right? And around 4:30, 4:45, this is before COVID, right? Here, when I worked at Apple and stuff, people are at the fucking office. It's like so annoying. Over there, you look around at 4 o'clock, 4:30, people are already like drinking pints and shit. They're gone.
Yeah, people are done.
And it's a tech company, so yeah.
Yeah. So Todd promotes Asha to assistant manager and tells her she has to help them get the KPI under 6. And she's like all about this because he sees leadership quality in her. She's like, yes, a chance to improve. So she's listening to all the calls and she has to jump in if people are really doing terrible. So Todd at that time gets a call from HQ complaining about his order for products for the workers. So he tells them, look, I'm introducing these products to a market of 1 billion people. And then HQ basically shuts up and they're happy and they mail the products.
This shit costs 10 cents to make and he's worried about what, 20 products in this? This makes no sense, but yeah.
Yeah. And it's just Dave being an asshole and on a power trip, basically. So then Asha discovers that a shipment has gone to the wrong city. So they were waiting for all this kitsch to come and it's gone to this island basically because every city has a street called Mahatma Gandhi Road in India. And so basically they end up having to go there to get it. And Prohit can't go. So Asha ends up going with Todd. Hello.
This movie got X-rated pretty quick, dude. It was like super G-rated until this latter half. Yeah. I'm actually somewhat uncomfortable with the second half of this movie. Honestly, we'll get into it.
I mean, you don't even want a girlfriend staying over, so
no, this shit creeps me out. And if I don't know, man, keep going though. I'm sure I'll say some shit.
Yeah. So they have to take a taxi and then a ferry and whatever to get to this place. So the goddess of destruction is in the taxi as they drive over, and Asha says that sometimes destruction can be good because it'll start a new cycle. So then they go on a ferry to get to the actual island and they start cosplaying on the ferry on the way to the island. And he says, there's 1 billion of us, you know, and he does like the worst Desi accent ever. It's very cringy. And then she's like, that's terrible. And they find their stuff sitting on a beach somewhere. It's really random, right? They find these DHL boxes and they basically hire like a few Indian guys to help take it back to the ferry.
I don't know if they buy this stuff, but the people are using it as like a table or something. And I didn't really understand that scene.
Yeah, it's weird. So on the way, Todd ends up seeing a temple and Asha explains to him that there's a temple and they see kind of this like water fountain-y thing. And she's like, it's a symbol of a male part and a female part. They go together.
Birds and the bees. Okay. Tell us, Asha.
So she tells him a story about a god who was celibate and wanted to destroy the world because he got so angsty, I guess. And then this goddess comes and quote unquote absorbs his heat and saves the world from destruction. And I'm like, okay, so basically women have to save the world from men. Got it.
Jesus. I mean, holy shit. Like, even in prehistoric, made up, urban myth, whatever you want to call it, they still knew that guys would self-destruct essentially and ruin the world. And who is this goddess of destruction? Kali?
I think so, yeah.
Kali comes in and saves everything. Do black women run the world?
Save the world. I know, man. Is it really Kali like black?
I don't think so, but who's going to
anyways, whatever.
come after us?
Who run the world? Beyonce. No,
yeah.
just kidding.
Shout out.
Okay, so they decide to get mangoes on the street before they get to the
This is
ferry.
so every fucking Indian stereotype, scene after
Yeah.
scene after scene, and now we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
mangoes.
Yeah. And he peels it like a banana, like a white boy eating a banana. And she's like, no, dude, you just got to bite a little thing and you mash it up inside and you suck it out. That's how we do. Okay. This is getting ready for the next scene. She's showing him what she can do. Okay.
He's eating it like a fucking dork, right? So
yeah.
she's right. Yeah.
I had this conversation with Brian about how you can eat mangoes like this. And he's like, what the hell? But yeah, it's funny. So
Trader Joe mangoes lately have been really good. By the way, I don't know where the fuck they're getting them from, but I've been squeezing them from the bottom and just straight slurping them up. So
yeah,
I've
that's what
literally experienced. It's pretty enlightening. Not enlightening. I would say it's orgasmic more than anything else.
Yeah,
because
okay.
she gets horny, right? So that's
we're about to
not
get
me.
there.
It's the movie.
So the ferry's apparently not running anymore, they find out, and she gets like, oh my God, you prayed to the goddess of destruction and they destroyed the ferry. So now we need to find a hotel. So he goes with his mango stained face to to a hotel, and the hotel is like, we don't have any standard rooms, we don't have any deluxe rooms, we only have one room available, and it's the Kama Sutra suite, and you guys are gonna have to share it. And so they're feeling all awkward and stuff, but they go up to the suite and there's like a man who's spreading petals over the heart-shaped bed, and they're like, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that. And then they basically start arguing in the room, and she tells him like, this is all your fault, and you even have mango stain on your face, can't even have a serious conversation with you. And then suddenly they start making out.
The mango on his face looks disgusting. So she's
so
licking off old mango. Ew. Yeah. Like it's so, and then she takes her to Partha and she starts like tapping him she starts like tapping him on the face, and I'm like, you're wearing this and you traveled in it and you're going to travel in it tomorrow and you're going to wear the same chuddies overnight on this ferry. What do you want me to say? Like, this is exactly, just let me do it. It's 58 minutes in. It's Thursday. On Tuesday, I already went off on this, but like, I don't fucking get it. Why? I don't care if the Kama Sutra suite is here. I would never hook up with. That's not true. I actually met my second wife at work, but I don't know what I'm saying. The scene just bothered me in general. I don't know why. Do you have any?
Because it was cheesy, and I was like, is she just really into these mangoes? That's why she's making out with him. Maybe she didn't even want to make out with him. She just wanted more mango, right?
Well, mangoes are an aphrodisiac in India, right? I mean, think like you can't like do anything unless there's a mango beforehand. Because it's like a sensual fruit, and it's soft.
Sure, but it's only seasonal, and I'm pretty sure people have sex other times of the year.
No, not with that population.
Oh man! So then they start making out, and then they hook up, right? Okay, but this is where it starts to get a
they
little
like
funky.
hook up. They don't even know each other.
It was they
He's
just
been there
totally
for 4
get
days.
down. Yeah, and like they get down like fully in the heart-shaped bed. Like they're just like, oh shoot, we need to share a hotel room. I guess we'll just fuck because we're stuck in this
It's really
hotel
strange. It's like fucking someone, and then he almost puts on porn after because he's flipping through the Kama Sutra book, and back
Kama
then,
Sutra book. Yeah,
like that's what porn was. It was on pages, and what's he gonna do? Watch her do the monkey trumpet? He even asks her to do it. I don't know, man. This made me really uncomfortable.
Not monkey trumpet. He says monkey pulls on the turnip. That's
Ew,
what it says.
Even
monkey
worse.
pulls.
You know what a turnip is?
Yeah.
Do you know what a fucking turnip looks like?
Yeah, I do. Because I put it in soup sometimes. But anyways, he's like, let's try it. She's like, no. And then she tells him no one can know and he needs to keep this all a secret. And then she goes under the sheets and it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to try it.
And they do it again. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it, dude. I kind of get it. I mean, she's a grown woman. She can do what she wants. I'm not sex shaming anyone. Also, it's a movie. But
yeah,
they're stretching it, man. If anyone finds them, hey, shout out Mississippi Masala that we did a couple weeks ago. Remember when the uncles ran into the room where Denzel and Saritha Chaudhry were? That was insane.
Well, also, I feel like we have the same issue with this movie that we had with that movie, whereas like you get to know these characters and then they start falling in love and having sex in like literally 1 second. There's no buildup of their relationship, So that's what's weird. Because I think both of these movies are not really about the love story as much as like they're trying to do too much. They're trying to do like cultural stuff and love story. And so the love story gets just basically like scrunched up and it becomes kind of weird, that it's like so rushed.
This is more of a comedy than Mississippi Masala. Mississippi Masala definitely took it in a more serious tone. But if you remove the music and you remove like dark overtones and dark overtures of music, like in Mississippi Masala, that movie could be a comedy as well. Like Mississippi Masala could easily be a comedy if the mom was like Auntie G, if the uncle wasn't so depressed, things like that. And like, tones and music, easily you can shift a comedy into a drama, by the way, with the same exact dialogue. You've seen that thing we always talk about, Friends, how Ross is a total psychopath and they remove the laugh track and they make it black and white.
And he sounds insane.
He sounds insane. He sounds like a fucking rapist murderer. So I don't know why this bothered me. I think it's because I have so much like fucking, not trauma, but just like we're so confused on how to date, right? South Asians. Yeah. You're married now, so I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I don't know what to do, but I'm not going to go get Asha Bhosle in bed in a Kama Sutra suite in India. That's not happening.
Asha Bhosle's like,
sorry, she's like 90 years old. She's hot though.
Oh my God.
She's alive. Okay. She's alive, right? Her sister's dead.
She is alive. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I guess. Yeah.
Shout out Asha Bhosle, dude.
Yeah. So Asha and Todd get back to the office. They're like, flirting with each other all day, every day. And then they end up going on a walk together and chatting and whatever. So Todd asks Asha the age-old question, why does she care what people think? It's like, wow, it's literally the basis of our entire culture. But she says, because she's actually going to have an arranged marriage to this guy, like this family friend of hers. Yeah, that she's known since she was 4, and they've been like promised to like eventually get married, and so she's supposed to get married like next year. And so he's like, what? And she's like, well, I'll learn to love him. And he says, that's crazy. And she says, some people will say America's 50% divorce rate is crazy. And he's like, what would you call this? What we're doing then? And she says, I'll call it holiday in Goa. And she tells him a story about her friend who went on a 3-week sex trip with this guy she was in love with before she got married. And she took the trip to Goa. And so that's their like code word for hooking up with someone that you actually want to be with is called holiday in Goa.
I like how you called it a sex trip. That's not what they called it at all. You're like,
what did she call it?
She just said holiday in Goa. She didn't even infer that they were fucking the whole time. But this is some gross ass shit, by the way.
Yeah,
like a 3-week holiday before you marry some guy the next month is insanely. This is like some low key hoism that could alter your marriage forever.
Well, I think it's just a testament to like how people feel like they don't have free will to marry. And so they end up in these fucked up situations where they either never get to experience physical attraction and love, or they do, but it's in this really fucked up way that sets their marriage up for complete and utter failure. If it wasn't already. I don't know. It is what it is. Okay, so a man who... Go ahead.
No, I was just, who gives a shit about all this? It's not that like who gives a shit about all this, but everyone's going to do what they want to do compared to their neighbor.
In their situation.
Everyone's going to do something different. Everyone's going to stick it in different ways, right? And trumpet and monkeys is Todd's way.
Yeah. So a man has been picking up his trays of leftovers from over the property wall for like some months now, that, because, Todd's been giving his leftovers over the property wall. So that man invites Todd to his house for dinner, and Todd gets to see how the other 99% in India live, and he's shocked at the poverty, but the guy's really happy to have him over, and they give him rice and some random salan and a boiled egg. I was like, dude, I know these people are poor, but Indian poor women can cook way better shit than this. This was like a weird ass meal. I was just like, whatever.
Some white guy did this, right? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, the salan that they put on is the color that you would put on white rice. I don't think the meal was out of bounds for what it would look like. Right. And they're also sharing with the 5th person. Right. So they probably had to divvy it up a little bit. Yeah. But the salan was just salan. There wasn't any meat in it, but there's not supposed to be because it's India. So I thought it was pretty factually correct.
Okay. Maybe. I give that to them.
The egg is the protein. He gives it.
Yeah,
they give him
that's
a boiled
right.
egg. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then he eats with his hand, obviously, right hand, like we talked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then apparently the kid that stole his phone comes around and basically gives him his phone back, and he's like decorated it with like paisley, Mindy,
That's
South
the
Asian
dude's
design.
son.
Yeah, that's the dude's son.
They look exactly the same. I wonder if they're real life father and son. They might be, because Slumdog Millionaire, they actually used the actors and actresses from the slum, even the kids.
Yeah.
None of those were paid and trained actors. So I'm assuming maybe this was the same thing. Who knows?
Yeah. So who calls Todd, Sameem?
Your boy, Dave. Dave made
dun, dun,
way
dun.
too many appearances in this movie, the latter half.
Yeah.
Like we just talked about him
know.
calling. This motherfucker calls again.
Yeah, I know. So basically, Todd gets a call from Dave, who is in town, and he's at the same train station that Todd was, obviously the town train station, and he eats the same icy, the same gola, and he's basically going to have the shits also. And Tom's kind of laughing, but Tom goes to pick him up, and he says he's dropping in on Todd to see how things are going because, you know, the numbers look too good, and he needs to make sure Todd isn't like rigging something. And so they end up going to the office. But when they go to the office, they see there's like a flood because there's some like irrigation going on at the farm next door. So the office is flooded. And it's the only day when it's like fucked up. All the other days it's been great. And then, of course, Dave's a dick.
Yeah, this part pissed me off the most. I don't know why. Like, the movie's been kind of flowing. We've been talking about there's some romance. There's some funniness. Yeah. The call center employees are actually all hilarious characters. And they're all like so cute and so like innocent. But then Dave comes in, he sees the flood, and the first thing he says is, I'm going to shred your passport. I'm sorry, but we're in India, bro. There's nobody protecting you here. I'd fuck you up.
You're going to get your ass
kicked.
To me.
Yeah. I would fuck you up if you said that to me. I don't control the floods, dumbass Dave.
Yeah.
Dave's a real man, by the way. This is not exaggerated. This is exactly what would happen if he's
situation. A real person. Yeah. So Todd says, don't worry about this. I'm going to fix this. He's like, we're going to reset up everything on the roof. And he basically hires his poor neighbor who he had dinner with because that guy had like siphoned power off from somewhere to get electricity for his house. So he hires that guy to do the same thing from like some street lights nearby to set up a whole workstation on the roof of the building, which it's obviously it's South Asia. It's warm. So it's probably like 80 degrees, 75 or something at that point at night. It's probably wonderful to sit outside. And so they do that, and Dave has nothing to bitch about, and he's standing there like an annoying piece of poo, and you know, everybody's basking in the glory. And then we find out that Manmeet has found a girl from New Jersey, Elizabeth, and he's like talking to her through the call center, and Todd's like, that's fine as long as she buys something every 5 minutes, I'm cool with it.
It's such a stripper thing. Like, hey, you got to keep feeding the stripper if you want to keep talking. Hey, she wants the man meat. Okay, it's a very subtle reference, but it's obvious what they're saying.
Elizabeth from New Jersey wants that man meat.
There's so many like sexual references in the second half of this movie. It's wild. It's so strange.
So wild.
This movie is PG-13, by the way. So just so everyone knows.
Yeah. Then this MAGA guy calls Asha on her line, and he's about to get mad at the outsourcing. He's all like upset about it. And she tells the guy like, okay, it's totally fine. I'll refer you to another website where you can buy a similar product that's made in America. And Todd and Dave are watching her, and they're like, what is she doing? And then the guy goes, okay, that's great. He's like, so is the price the same? And she's like, no, theirs is $212 more.
Damn.
And then the guy's like, yeah, and then the guy is like, okay, I'll just buy it from you. And then Todd and Dave, they're like both super happy. And I was like, damn, this is so foreshadowing. This is like crazy scene.
It's so crazy because everybody that's involved is not us. It's not like immigrants or creating factories in countries outside the United States and that we're making money off shipping it back in. I'm sure some are, but overall, the problem is inside the house. These people
the call is
the
coming
cheap
from
shit.
inside the house.
Exactly. They want the cheap shit.
Yeah.
But they don't want it coming from overseas. But they also don't want to make less money to produce it here. So they'll make less money because it'll be more expensive to make.
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, but then they all fucking confused due to all this propaganda they watch. So the cognitive dissonance on trade in the United States is just insane. And I don't think anybody's going to be able to solve it because we just have so many different thoughts that exist, but then they don't merge into like a normal solution.
A logical into like a logical construct. Yeah.
There's no such thing. There's no Venn diagram in an American's brain, right? Everything is so separate and just banging around between two ears. Sorry. Shit.
Oh my God. Okay.
Was that bad? Is that like, what do you want me to say, dude? This country's fucking stupid. Like, what? You think Andrew Schultz will come here and like prove me wrong? No, this motherfucker was like diddling Trump's balls. And now he's like, I didn't know that Trump was a bad man. You told me you were smart, bro. You sound like a fucking idiot.
It's wild to me
how
that
dumb
people
these comedians were.
Yeah, that people think like Trump, a professional lying person.
Con artist.
Who's like,
Since the 70s.
is going to... Everybody's shocked. Oh my God, he lied. Oh my God, he's gonna do something not nice to poor people. It's like, what are you? Yeah,
it's colorism. I
don't know.
It just is. Yeah, he looks a certain color, orange.
Yeah,
and they find that endearing. And an orange man can't do anything wrong. But if you're brown and black, you must be doing something wrong. That's all it is. And Andrew Schultz and Tim Dillon and Akash Singh and all these fucking Uncle Toms that prop this guy up. Please come find me. I will tear you apart. That's never going to happen.
They won't find you.
I mean, it's my way of, we're going to use this as a social media clip and we're going to tag those motherfuckers. They'll go run and hide. I know they will. I don't know.
They're not going to find us.
They're not going to find us. Hey, we got to do something. That fucking CEO and his HR lady went viral from a Coldplay concert. Yeah. Why can't we? I'll say it again. Andrew Schultz, you suck. You're really dumb. Please come debate us.
Yeah. All right. So the MPI finally breaks 6. It goes down to 557, all because of Asha's hard work.
Work.
Todd's boss.
I heard it. I heard what you said. I heard she is hot. She's hot. Dude.
I said what I said. Yeah, she is.
Hey, I got some tea on Asha, by the way, after this.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So then Todd's boss says they're going to close the call center and move it to China anyways because they can get even better rates in China and they already have a call center up there. And this is when Todd is like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But he has planned this Lotus Club meetup for all the people after hours to celebrate. And so he goes there and he tells them all of them are getting fired and all their jobs are moving to China. And everyone is getting 1 month severance. So then Prohit and Todd go to the bar and Prohit is really upset because he's like, my girl won't marry me because I'm not going to be able to get a job. Everyone else is going to be able to get a job because they don't work in management and they've been trained really well, but I won't be able to because I'm supposed to be a manager and it's hard to find those jobs. So he's like, I need to leave India. And just then Asha comes up to Todd and Prohit and basically makes an excuse about how she's writing a novel called Holiday in Goa and she wants Todd to see it. And then basically they go and they hook up in her friend's apartment. And he tells her that they only have the place for 2 hours. So it's like, chop.
Prohit's like, hey, my girl ain't going to marry me. My life's falling apart. And Asha's like, I'm really horny. She like walks up. She's like, we need to go fuck like right now. And you can like see it in their eyes. And I get it, dude. He's a white man. You got to have it one more time, but still.
Yeah. So he tells her he wants to meet someone almost exactly like her. Someone that's not afraid to try monkey pulls the turnip. What is this movie? Like, oh my God.
So she's not perfect because she won't. What do you think? Let's not talk about it. Monkey pulls a turnip. He wants a hand job. I feel like Asha did that. I think that's all she probably did. A dry ass hand job. Also,
if of all the things you could really want, why would you want that?
He sounds vanilla as fuck, honestly. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I don't know. So he ends up somehow with her bindi on his cheek. And I see your nose.
They looked at each other, the aunties.
Yeah.
And she's like,
maybe that's happened to them before. Yeah. Maybe that's happened to them. Yeah, that's hilarious.
On their holiday from Goa.
Oh, yeah. So basically then Dave comes to Todd and he's like, okay, Todd, you need to go to Shanghai and you're going to be promoted to VP and you're going to get your stock options that are not going to vest because we're going to fire you right now if you don't do it. And basically they try to make him an offer he can't refuse. But Todd's like, fuck this. I've already done this. So he refuses the offer and he gets them to hire Prohit for the job. So then Prohit now has gotten this huge promotion, and Prohit gets to marry his girl, take his bride to Shanghai, and he meets Todd at the airport, and Todd tells him break a leg, and he explains to Prohit that that's like an expression, and then Prohit goes, I hope you break both your legs, and then he he walks away. And then basically Todd quits his job, he moves back to America, and he goes into his apartment and he puts Asha's bindi on an image of George Washington that he has displayed on a decorative plate in his house. And then she calls him with that ringtone.
She put the ringtone on his phone after they fucked on the island, and it was like a popular Indian song. I just can't remember what it was. So then that song plays and the movie cuts.
Yeah,
but he puts the bindi on George Washington's forehead.
That's the best part.
That's quite the symbolism. India, you know what? We are taking over. We're coming.
I think we came, but
H1B,
or at least Asha and Todd did.
Dude, what if she's pregnant? Dude, that'd be some insane ass shit.
Oh yeah, that would be part calling. 2.
Outsourced 2 starts with, "I'm pregnant."
Oh my god!
What a movie!
So tell them what you would retitle the movie. Now, I mean,
just on a play with Mississippi Masala, I would retitle this movie. What would I even write? Monkey Turnip Masala. It's not as funny anymore. We already made too many turnip jokes.
Yeah.
Everybody Google what a turnip looks like and
tell us
does
what
it turn you on?
Monkey, and tell us what you think monkey pulls a turnip means.
Yeah. Chai After Dark at chaiafterdark.com. I got a little bit of chai, a little bit of tea.
Yeah, let's do some tea time.
Stupid. But if anybody is still listening to us, check this shit out. So this movie's called Outsourced, right?
Yeah.
The guy that produced this movie, his name is Tom, Tom.
Uh-huh.
You're going to think I'm making this up. His last name is Gore, Gorai.
Really?
Gore. But I'm not done. So he produces this movie called Outsourced. His name's Tom Gore. Gore means white people. Just so our white audience knows that. So Tom White People is making movies about Indians. Check this shit out. You know what else he's produced?
What?
The Namesake with Mira Nair. Mira Nair.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, that's so fucked up. Mira Nair.
Mira Nair, yeah.
Mira Nair.
Mira Nair.
Sorry. Mamdani's
Zohran
mom.
Mamdani's mom.
Yeah. So Tom Gore produced The Namesake. He produced Outsourced. He produced The Other End of the Line with Ashok Amritaj. And I'm not going to list all the Indian movies he's produced, but this motherfucker loves Indian people so much so that his last name is Gore.
That's hilarious. But is his last name like Gorai? And
it's probably
like,
Gorai, right? He's born in Seattle.
And he's like okay, but he's not half Desi, is he?
He looks white as fuck to me in this picture. But all his pictures are with like Indian people. And I'm not done, by the way. So
okay, yeah, keep going.
Asha. This is so stupid. Her name is Aisha, Ayesha, which is fine. Her last name is Darker, Dharker. We're such children. My God, Aisha Darker. She's only 47 today.
Tom Gore and Aisha Darker.
So fucking stupid. Hey, July 24th, Thursday. This is a pretty good day.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, this movie was hilarious. Like, how could the tea not be stupid and hilarious? Because this whole movie was stupid and hilarious.
And then one more thing, you'll never guess. So this movie had like a bunch of characters, right? Who do you think is the most prolific actor out of all those Indian people? The call center employees, the cab drivers. There's one guy that literally has like 15, 16 films and TV shows in India every year. He's done like 15 things just in 2025.
Okay, I'm going to say it's Manmeet.
Manmeet's around for sure. Like he's been in other stuff. Okay. But it's the Gola, the IC guy.
What? Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. So, that's awesome.
He's a good looking guy too. Siddharth Jadhav. He's been in like so much shit. He has so many pictures everywhere. He's only 43 years old today. He has 2 children. He's worth around $5 million just from Googling, which probably means he's worth a lot more.
Yeah.
He's been in a hell of Bollywood films. So he's like the guy from the movie that's like the most popular person because Asha kind of went away. She hasn't been in anything in the last 10 years.
Yeah. I saw she was in some South Indian movies.
Yeah, she's a British actress. So she was in some Britain things too, but she was born in Bombay.
She's married to some white guy.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I didn't think any of that was super interesting because she she fucked this guy Josh Hamilton twice.
Do you think she did monkey pulls the turnip with her husband?
Hey, we'll pull that out. We'll pull that out.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we'll pull out. Right. Don't worry. This is going off the rails. Let's just get out of here.
All right. See you next time, guys. Find us at Chai After Dark on TikTok and Instagram, and email us at chaiafterdark@chaiafterdark.com, and find us on any podcast platform and give us 5 stars. And if you can write a little review on Apple, something nice only, don't shame us publicly, but you can give us criticism into our email. We can take it. We have brown pads. All right. Dun, dun, dun,
Later.
dun, dun,
I gotta go to
dun,
Mahatma
dun.
Gandhi Way in San Diego. Bye.
Bye.